Welcome to Traffic Jam. My name is Leroy. I'm gonna get right to it. I hope everybody had a good weekend, and today's my birthright, so I got another year to follow. I'm just gonna talk about, and I could say about WWE right now, but it's gonna be about TKO is public enemy in the company right now. Uh, I do understand the people in the locker room. And you can say the Miz unfollowed WWE right after they let um, our Truth go, and seeing it from the crowd that we want Truth, and then like at least a few days later, they brought him back with the John Cena. Um, I'm gonna talk about like they are public enemy number one, and I'm gonna tell you why they still gonna it's gonna be leading problems. I just understand the situation as it is. I mean, when I say WWE made a panic move, and I still say to this day they did a panic move in this extent of now they brought R-Truth back. Now they got to use him in this storyline moving forward. Like he's your top guy now. He went from the funniest guy on every set, and he's a funny dude, man. He really is, and he's really entertaining. And I watching him, and I always say they should have never got rid of him. Even Vince McMahon to this day said not in a million years he would get rid of R-Truth, man, aka Ron Killings. And I always say this, like now I'm just confused what they're gonna do with this. Now he's got to be used in all through the story with John Cena moving forward, uh, towards the end of the year. Like this is the momentum you have. Now back to the TKO. Now they now it's gonna now the Rock is being hated as it is right now, and I'm still gonna say this. He's bulletproof in this company, regardless. This is the heat reaction and I believe they should have, because it's doing real life heat. I always say this, like with Vince McMahon, man, with the most famous one, the Montreal screw job. They wanted Vince McMahon's head. That was on the verge. Well, if they would have not did that, uh, they would have probably went out of comedy. But I think that was the best thing that ever happened to him. Uh, Even Stone Cold Steve Austin to this day said, what we do as a company." And you know what Vince McMahon said, and he'll never get said, "Don't be fine, Steve. We're moving forward." And 2KO got to do that moving forward, and they can turn into a negative into a positive, or they can turn into a negative, and then a bunch of heat just come out. Because now the locker room has more control now, and that's why I would say you don't want the inmates run the asylum. Uh, but you gotta sometimes you gotta on people's toes to get where you need to go, and that's a cold blooded business in the wrestling business, man. And now TKO and I'm gonna link to The Rock, the final boss, is getting thrown at their castle right now by their own people, and not what you want. And now the people speaking about that, and I had to refresh this a little bit to think in my mind because I was having a conversation with a relative about this. They were telling me about that, and I completely understand it. But I'm always going to have an issue, and this comes back to WWE. What you're going to do with Ron Killings moving forward? Now you got to use him as a top guy in the company, and what they do with the storyline now, man, it is like he's a top merch right now. Like he's outselling them like this week, and they'll probably be outselling it moving forward. And the wrestlers and people are smoking right now, and I know Triple H is getting heat for think this was a work and all that stuff, and it's irrelevant to me right now because this is about TKO, and I would say the final boss, The Rock, is getting Rock story at their own from their own people, and you don't want that, man. And if you're gonna be that cutthroat of a person, I mean, you got to go for the kill, man. And TKO is a cutthroat company, and it's not like Vince McMahon, man. He lets so many people go when they get fired when they're on their honeymoon, man. I forgot which one they were talking about. But it was like that one time. I mean, he released people when they were. It's just on a bunch of scenarios that Vince Man done. But I'm just saying this is a test for TKO, man, and it's they're the people are having their voice heard, and they got to be careful, man, and they gotta the Rock, the final boss. This is your test, man, and I always say he's bulletproof, but people are throwing stones at your castle, man, and they gotta use this as a storyline, man, and I can see it. Thank y'all for tuning in. I have to reevaluate this. I do understand with the fans. I'm just talking about like now with Ron Killings back in the day. Now you got to use them moving forward with John Cena. You have to do it now. But I'm always saying this to this day, like what they're gonna do with this, and if this goes south, man, it's gonna go bad, pretty bad, pretty quickly. And yeah, man, TKO, they're getting tested now, and you know they're still bulletproof, man. They still is. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good one.